the next thing I wanted to ask was if someone was starting to do property sourcing, which is what you touched on with regards to if you had the number of deals that you had that you didn't want to buy or you couldn't buy. So if someone was walking down that path and they found these properties that they couldn't buy themselves or didn't want themselves, what would you say is the sort of first steps that you would advise them to take?
First steps. This is quite a good question, because if I'm talking to someone now, I mean, I did loads wrong. I ran a patch in the northeast and did it all wrong. I still got deals, but I just did it totally wrong. And then I moved down to the Midlands and ran a patch in the Midlands. We did that kind of right, and now I kind of pounce on people's areas and help people do this stuff, because the first step to take is doing the research on the area. And there's some companies out there I know will advise that if you're in London it's too expensive, go and invest in Hull, or go and invest in the north because the properties are cheaper. And this property sourcing isn't about the property. Actually, the properties are largely irrelevant at this point. The whole deal is, and the trick is, not the trick, the skill is spotting where the money is in the deal and then pulling it out to pay yourself. So there's tons of different scenarios we might touch on later, but there's loads of different scenarios where there's money in a deal. It's just spotting that money and pulling it out. If you know your area, and I'm quite vocal about local, so the area you should run is no more than 30 minutes from where you spend most of your time, and that's either where you live or where you work, or wherever your kind of local area is. That's where you should be doing deals. And the reason is because you've already done some of the work, because you know the routes to the pub, you know where Granny's is, you know where the shops are, you know where the industrial estates are, you know where all the if you're going for BMV deals, you know where all the smaller houses are, you know where the working class areas are, you know where the middle class areas are. So you kind of know some of this stuff already. So you've already done part of the work. So it's pointless going 4 hours up north to do a property deal when you can do it in your own backyard. So that's kind of the first advice I'd give, is know your ground, know your patch, and do the research properly.
Right. And you mentioned BMV, so just in case anyone didn't know what that was, what do you class as a BMV?
Right. So yeah, good point. Technical terms. Below market value is anything that's that the vendor will agree to sell below the actual market value, hand-on-heart valuation. We're not surveyors, obviously, but if you've done your research properly and you know your numbers and you know your prices and values in the area, then it's a discount off that known value, or best guesses. Let's call it a best guess valuation.
Okay, right. Well, moving on.